hopefully words aren't too small this week, because downloading this and then changing it and whatnot changed it to a different format to widescreen, so it made the text a little bit worse, but we'll try. Okay. So, first to start, any new phrases or anything that we can add to a phrase bank? Anyone hear any new phrases? Anyone have any phrases they would like to share with other people? Any questions with English? Sorry, homework questions as well off of your emails, or did you? I got so many emails, and then on top of that, it's the end of the quarter, and so I'm dealing with a bunch of other stuff, so I'm slowly going through the emails, but I will get through them, just not this week, okay? So thank you for CCing me and flooding my inbox with a bunch of emails. Any questions at all? No? No? Alright, perfect. So, no new things that you heard this week? No questions about anything? Going once? Going twice? Huh?
What does that mean? I'm feeling the weather.
I'm feeling under the weather?
I'm feeling the weather.
I'm feeling the weather?
Oh, under the weather.
I hear I'm feeling under the weather, but if it's I'm feeling the weather, maybe they might be talking about because it's been raining a lot lately. So
Yeah, and then.
did they say like
It's
I'm
all the
feeling under the weather then? It wouldn't be I'm feeling the weather, it's I'm feeling under the weather.
Under the weather.
Yeah, under the weather. Yeah.
Under the weather.
So feeling under the weather just means that you feel sick. So I'm not sure exactly. I used to have this great book with idioms in it, and it explained their origin and everything, and I let one of my students at Wishbon borrow it, he never brought it back. So, I'm not sure exactly where it comes from, but the way that I kind of feel about it is that under the weather would kind of be like, you think about rain cloud, over your head, you're raining on you, you don't feel good, sort of thing. So it just means that you're feeling sick, right? Not upset. I know with a cartoon they'll show that and it means they're sad, but it's not really upset. It means like just kind of, I just think of it as like, your mother's always like, put a rain jacket on, or you're gonna get a cold. Well, you're not actually gonna get a cold from getting wet. If that were true, everyone takes a shower, right? You should get sick from that too. So, but it's just, that I think is kind of where it comes from. Any other questions? No? Alright, let's jump into it then today. So email layout and introductions. So, basic email formatting. We kind of know email formatting, right? So you have your subject line, and with the subject line, I am no longer a substitute, so Betty does not send me emails where the entire email is in the subject line, and then in the message space it says, what do you think about above? It's like, that box is so small, why don't you just move it down? So, you should only include the main topic. Keep it short, few words as possible, fragments are okay, abbreviations are okay, so don't write the whole thing, right? It's not what the line's for. So for the subject, just something brief like, request for sub, or form you need to fill out, or meeting tomorrow, something like that, right? Okay? So I want to read this email. I'm really sorry about how small the text is, but if I tried to start changing it, I noticed this right before class, and it just kind of messes up everything. So, because I have some animations and whatnot. So I'll read it, don't worry. If you can't read it, sorry. Dear Matt, I hope you had a great weekend. I am writing to you about a request for time off. I would like to request the dates of November 16th through 17th off from work. I'll be attending a friend's wedding in Tainan. Please let me know if this is possible. Thank you for your assistance in this matter. Have a great day. Sincerely, David Smith. Okay? So, with that, we have these different sections. Alright? If you took this class last year, you might remember this from previous years. But basically, I've broken it down into the different portions of what a general email, what we see during the day would have. Okay? The two blue parts in the beginning and the end, those are always kind of optional. Okay? So, in the beginning, dear Matt, what is that? You know what that's called? Yeah, I know. So, in Japan, they would say, "Samui." So, that's the greeting or the salutation. Another word for it is salutation. Or actually, I think the salutation might be okay. We'll find out. But salutation. Alright, a salutation is also a greeting as well. Alright, so the greeting. Formal greetings include what? Dear. Right? Hello, that's more neutral. Hi, that's informal, right? The name only, it's probably your friend or your really close coworker, or maybe it's someone that works under you and you're angry at them, right? Okay. Next, the blue part, pleasantry. So pleasantry, they're in the beginning, the ends, they can be mixed in. Pleasantries are always optional. All right, it's just a little something to kind of break the ice. Right? I hope you had a great weekend. Right? Not really the point of the email, but it's something that you can include. I always think it's good at the beginning, if it's someone that you know and you have a relationship with, okay? And at the end, it's always good, especially if it's a busy time of year and you're asking for something like, I need it now, and you know that they're busy. You'd be like, I hope you're not having a really bad time, whatever, okay? So next, the reason for writing, okay? So I am writing to you about whatever, or I'm writing to you in regards of, okay? After that, the main info. So what information you're including, all right? So you can tell that this is very general, right? The reason, I'm writing for a request for time off, right? And then the next one is the main info of when you need it off, right? Then, clarifying info. Okay, to clarify something means that you make it more understood for the person, alright? So, I could have just said, I would like to request the dates of November 16th through the 17th off from work, and left it at that. But if that's like during a busy time or something like that, that little bit of extra information might be helpful, right? So, and then after that, the next action and thanks, alright? So the next action means what should happen next for you or for the reader, what's going to happen next, okay? So provide some sort of detail. So it says, please let me know if this is possible. Thank you for your assistance in this matter, alright? So the next action is, here's what I need, what can you do, right? So please let me know if this is possible. So that's letting them know. Now it's going to be different. Sometimes it's, I will need you to fill out this form at your earliest convenience, right? Or below you can find the attached items. It's something that's letting them know what to do next, okay? Not all emails have that, but in a typical formal business sort of, or neutral business email, it will have this. And then at the end we have another pleasantry. We have our closing. So I was right, salutation at the top.
Is this information going to be in the folder too?
In the folder, yes. Yeah, I'll I'll put this whole slide set in a folder. Alright, so your closing. What's the typical closing that you like to use? Best regards, okay? A lot of the times in business, best regards, best, you'll see those a lot. Okay, sincerely is a very common one. That's more with friends, family, right? Okay. So, with greetings, with the formal ones, you have dear, and then the title, so Mr., Mrs., Ms. And then to whom it may concern is another one, right? If you're writing outside TAS, even if you're writing inside, you're writing to a department and you don't know who to talk to, it's a little bit weird now because you're sending an email to a person. So if you're sending an email to a specific person saying to whom it may concern, okay, but maybe Dr. Hennessy is sending something school-wide and it's just to whom it may concern, right? So maybe it might deal with you, maybe it won't. So that's what that means, right? So neutral, dear, hello, and the difference to make it more neutral, it's not the title and last name. So formal, dear Mr. King, dear Matt would be neutral. Don't worry, I don't take offense if you call me Matt, okay? Mr. King is fine, but it makes me feel like my father, okay? So, informal, hi, or hello, or just a name. Now, that's not necessarily rude, and who here has someone in their department or someone they know within TAS that just starts typing and doesn't even say any of that? All the time. Coworkers that I work with, they don't put any of this, and then you just start writing, hey, can you get back to me about when your availability is? Thanks. Send it off, okay? That's okay too. Just depends on the situation. Probably don't want to send something to Dr. Hennessy like that, alright? Alright, so your pleasantry. So, like I said, we include these to break the ice. They're optional. So when to include them and when not to include them. Good time to maybe include them is the first email you write in an exchange with someone. And I don't mean the very first email. I mean like the first email that you're starting a chain of emails, okay? Maybe reciprocating a pleasantry from their email. So reciprocating means to give back something, right? So if they say to you like, hey, I hope you had a good weekend, then when you write back, you can be like, yeah, the weekend was great, you know, got to go out with the family, had fun, hope yours was too, and then get in an email, okay? If you haven't written back in a few days, if you've taken a while to write back, what's something that you could use? Anyone? If say that you were supposed to reply tomorrow and then a week goes by and you're like, oh, that's right. And then you open up your email and you find the email and you're like, what do you write? Sorry for replying late, sorry for the late reply, right? Okay, giving an apology. Or if you told them you'd get back to them in a while and let them know, you can say like, sorry, this took longer than expected. That's another one. When not to do it, when you're first writing someone that you don't know. Okay, so you're writing with someone and maybe you're in purchasing, you have to, you know, figure out a quote word or something. You would say, hope you had a good weekend, and you have no idea who that person is. They're gonna be like, okay, thanks, I had a good weekend. Okay, every email in the exchange, you don't need to do that. Hope you had a good weekend, and they write back, oh, thanks, it was good, so yeah, I can meet then. Okay, I hope today was good. Okay, yeah, today was good. All right, I hope you're having a good lunch. Like, it just gets repetitive, right? And then when the matter is urgent, so if it's very important, you don't need to include a pleasantry, okay? If you want to soften it a little bit, that's always a good thing as well. So this is just used to kind of make it a more amicable email, a friendly email, right? So, and you can include it in the beginning or the end. So the reason for writing. These are some good fixed expressions that you can use. I'm writing you about, or I'm writing you in regards to, or I'm writing in regards to, this is in regards to, I would like to ask you about, this message is about, or this message is in regards to. So you stated at the beginning, just so you know they know what to expect, right? Have you ever written, for school, you had to write reports, right? You had to maybe research about something, and then you had to put a topic sentence, right? The topic sentence or the thesis that's telling everyone what the whole paper is about. This is kind of like the topic sentence, right? So it's good to include just so they have a direction and they understand what's going to be in the email. Directs people's train of thought to what they expect and what the communication will be about. Main information. So this could be a number of things. Could be a question about something, could be a request, giving information, a response, an apology, explanation, arranging a meeting or a business memo. So it's the meat and potatoes, as they call it, of the email. Okay, that's an idiom, the meat and potatoes, the main thing of something. Okay? Clarifying information. So this helps to let the reader better understand the topic. So this will include specific details. Alright? Don't put too much extra information. So if they're asking about something, say you're working in HR and they write about some sort of policy. Okay? You don't need to give them a copy of the entire employee manual and say, yes, here's the information you're looking for. If they're asking about one section, right? Don't overdo the amount of information. Just whatever works, and expect that they'll maybe take from that what they need to know, and then if they need further information, they'll always write you back. So, include helpful or important information related why you wanted to write them. Okay. Next or further action. It's always good to let the reader know what the next action should be. So it could be, sorry, this is so small. Them needing to do something, so whether it's like responding to an email or filling out a form, it could be that you are completing the next action, so what you're going to do for them. Or whether or not you need to wait for them to do something, or they need to wait for you to do something, right? So the next action, or no further action, right? And then the closing. So when we don't know a person, I know we are in the habit of using best regards, best. I use those a lot. Last year, I found out that actually, when we're writing, the first time, if you do not know a person, it's better to use sincerely. Okay? So if you're writing to someone you haven't met before, sincerely is always a good first one. After that, then you can switch to best regards, best. Because that means that you've established a relationship already. Okay? So, thank you and thanks. Those are always good when you're asking them to do something. Okay? If you're just saying that you're going to do something and then you say thanks, it's confusing. Okay? So these are only when you're asking them to do something for you, or if you're getting information from them. Thank you or thanks. It's, okay. So writing practice. Yay! Alright, so I'm going to hand this out. Hopefully you brought paper with you. If you don't, I have some. Kurt, I'm going to give you two because Albert wants one. Okay. So, good. Take one, pass around. Grab one. Alright. I hope I printed off enough. Alright, so you'll see on this handout, alright, there are preparation questions I would like you to answer. Okay? So there's two emails that we're doing here. So the first one says, you'll be writing to ask someone for information. Alright, so the things that will help you to prepare for the writing, you have to think about who you're writing to and what department they work for. Okay. So, I want you to answer these questions, and you're all individually going to write these two emails, okay? And just handwrite them, that's fine. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you email me and CC these, okay? So, Now, you need to think about, have you met this person before? Because if you've met them, maybe your tone's going to be different in the email. So that will help you decide whether it's going to be formal, whether it's going to be neutral, informal, that sort of thing, okay? And whether it's going to be friendly, okay? What information are you asking them about? So you're going to introduce the topic. And then is there specific information to ask about? And then is there anything you need to do for them or any next action for the reader? So I'm going to put this up, okay, with the different sort of sections, all right? And I want you to construct these emails using this sort of outline, okay? But pleasantry, those are optional, okay? As well as the clarifying info, although for this first one, I would like you to do clarifying info, because that will be specific information, all right? So I'm going to go around, and as you answer these questions, and I'll maybe give you suggestions if you're having trouble thinking about something, and I want you to kind of plan this out before you write the email, okay? Now, the second one, it's going to be, you're going to write an email for asking for action from a coworker, so they need to do something for you, okay? And then there are, who are you writing to and what department, what's the tone, is it something that can be done now? Can it be done later? Did they do something wrong? Okay, and then what action are you asking them to do and why are you asking them to do it? And then is there specific information needed for them to complete the action? Okay, so answer these questions and I'll come around and I will help you out. Yes. That would be the clocks. Yeah, so. Yeah, because aqua in Latin is water, right? So aquatics is the department for the swimming pool. And I think they have like a very strange name for it called like the Aquanasium or something like that. I don't know. It's like, it's a very, I've never heard it until I came here. Very, very formal sounding. Because you know the gym is the gymnasium, so this is the Aquanasium or something like that. And I had never heard that until I worked here, so. Alright, so you're gonna ask for information. So who are you gonna write to? And it could be anyone. It could be your boss, it could be Albert, it could be Simon, it could be me. It doesn't matter. Okay? You don't need to write the letter what Rose, so then you can write Rose and then what's part of it.
Oh,
Okay, so these are just answering the questions, you're not writing out the email on this. So just, this is to help you think before you create the email. Okay? Doesn't matter. Dan, please. Sure, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Okay? So just answer the questions first before you start. Before you write the email, I'd like you to answer this questions, just so you have it. And you can write on the page too.
What information are you asking about?
Maybe you could write some Karen or, but fill out this information just so you have an outline of what you're about. Yeah, so if you, yeah, well, it's just so that way you know kind of like who you're asking. So there would be, you know, if it's a Carol and library, I'm writing to this, I'm writing to the library staff or something like that about. Okay. So you're saying here, what should be attached to the request for payment for? What is the payment? Community is specific information. And then. So maybe you could say, for example, you might need to include an itemized list of what is being purchased or, right? So extra information. This, from the vent. So this is a vent. This would be called a windowsill. S-I-L, windowsill.
Is there specific information to this code?
In the vent. In the AC vent. Yeah, so that would be transportation department, and I believe that would be. Yeah, but that's fine, you could also write, just like. Or you could say, I'm concerned, I'm writing to the transportation department about the inquiry or the question. Okay, so you don't need to write out the email on this, this is just to answer the question. So then, what you can do is you can write an email. So that way it's. Right. And are you making sure that you're following, where you have the reason for writing me and clarifying and so on, right? Sure, so much. Good. Go ahead. Let's start with So here you need to make sure that you can identify it. So, or the, so which do you think it would be? Would it be, office, the office, the office. Okay. Okay, so go ahead and structure your email. Alright. And for this, you don't need to write out the full email. You can just write points of information. Just so then you write out this later. Okay? So go ahead and write out the email and structure it similar to that. Okay? Albert starts with A. A. Yeah. Albert. Do you need a piece of paper? Would you like a piece of paper? I can get you. Does anyone else need a piece of paper? I have some lined paper, if you'd like. No, you're good. Okay.
Did you? Sure.
Do you need paper? Or do you have it? Okay. So yeah, so now start constructing the first email. Now that you finish this. So how would you go about talking to the aquatics department? So if you hadn't met them first, what would you how would you start off? Would you just say, "Dear aquatics department," or would you probably? So Shane Lawson is the aquatics department. So you could write "Dear Shane" or "Dear Mr. Lawson," and then start it from there. And then, you know, have you met him? Obviously not. You don't know who he is. So do you need a poetry? No. Okay. So then you can jump into the reason for writing. Okay.
Do I need to introduce myself?
You don't need to with email. Here's the thing. With formal writing in the past, the way that they teach it.
One
Huh? Got a problem?
thing.
So in the past, it was written like a letter. So in a letter, when they're receiving it, they're just opening up a letter and they don't necessarily know the letter's from, right? So an introduction is a good way. Now with email, they see your name, and so they figure, oh, okay, and they see that it's an email address from TAS. So with the introduction, you can reason for writing. You can say, I'm writing to you about this, and then you can say, or you can say, I'm blah, 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 you know, department, and that works as well. But it's not necessary in terms of, unless, I would say within the company, you don't need to worry about that. But if you're writing externally, then yes, you can address that. Yeah. So write it down, and then once you're done with this one, then we'll write down this one, and we'll go through it, and we'll
Can
take a
I
look at it.
tap it and email it to you?
Sure, that works.
Any next? From
With it, so with this, if you're gonna write it in regards, in regards, with an S. If you took out the in, you could say regarding the. You got some? Sure, that looks good. I think you got enough information there, doesn't it, structure? So you can say like, high value, right, since you've met them, right? And then you can say, I'm writing about, question, about deliveries, or I'm writing, because I have a question about deliveries, or something like that. And then you can at the main info, you can say, question, I was curious about how many days. Okay. Neutral. Yeah, you can use neutral or you can use formal if you really want to, but if you're going to go friendly, neutral is a little bit more appropriate, right? Because if it's formal, like friendly and neutral are kinds, but like I guess what I meant by friendly would be like in, where you just say the value, you could get an email how many days for delivery, thanks. But if you're gonna do neutral, then you could, do it the right way. But it's up to you, right?
I. Okay.
Alright, so then you're on main info, do you have any clarifying info or any specific?
See.
So, what's the next action? The next action is okay, so how would you maybe phrase that? Could you please let me know details?
Please.
If you could let me know before this weekend, it would be great. Thank you. If you pose me a question, it comes along as a stop,
Sure.
then let me know.
Let me
So if you're never sure, asking it in a question is always
and then
slightly.
ACK.
Seems like you've had practice doing this type of thing.
I just sent this tomorrow.
So, it sounds like you have a lot. Do you have a lot or is it just one?
See
Okay, so maybe you can say and problems. No, you can say a lot, but you can say writing you about and. Yeah. Right, you need the connection, right? Because if you say his connection, then you don't know which connection, so there's a specific. The staff, the staff is only here. So you say comma, so he or she will meet. Or so does, this is a question, so you can say so does he or she. There you go. Because you need to use those conjunctions, right? And that conjunction can help combine. Okay, lovely. I think when does it mean? Because if you say it, no, does it? Yeah. But if you were gonna say we, you would say when do we get finished? Like if you, I think it's better, okay, when does it mean? So it's talking about preparation. Right. Okay. Alright. Okay, that's good. Go ahead and write it down. Okay. You go ahead and start writing the first thing. Alright. This is correct. An easier way to say it might be request for games and brushes. out of the AC vents by the window. But it's still the same thing, so it's fine. So in is better than 3814. So at 3814 it sounds more like the front door. So in it means inside. So return tax would be ENSIO pension. We say like a pension form, SIO. Instead of sheet, that's typically like formal documents. We call them forms. Here. You're saying this because she's back, right? So then it's going to be past tense, so past. Okay, so when you're finished, I want you to read through and I want you to check for spelling. I want you to check if you see any errors in grammar or anything. And if you think that it's okay, find someone to then switch with. And they can take a look and see if they see any grammar problems. Because sometimes even I wrote all of my narrative reports for my students, and then I let them sit for a day, and I went back and I checked them again, and then I gave them to a friend to check them, and they found errors that even though I checked it twice, I didn't see them, because in your mind you knew what you were saying. So then when you read through it, you skip over the error. Okay. So when you're finished, you can find someone to switch with and have them double check as well. Okay. And for this, you don't need to say on this right. Just say this right. It's not wrong, but you need to say it this right. So here, if you put this back on, this just submit. For you. Once again, this just prove the show. No, you don't need to repeat it. What you can do instead is you can just say, please let me know what time you read. Yeah, I think it's better to have, yeah. Yeah, because it's repeating it. So you can say it differently, just saying, please let me know when you have free time. Okay. The AC is not.
Sri Lanka.
Alright. Anyone have any questions? To. T-O.
To
Yeah, to the guardhouse.
to the guardhouse.
Yeah. Found a shortage. Instead of saying found a shortage of one of them, it's better to say I found one was missing.
One was missing.
Yeah. Okay. And then I will try to find it because you're talking about future tense here. So in the future, right? I will try. I think you won't. You don't need to use it. Yeah, I think that's a funny.
You
That's a funny.
don't need to use
Yeah, I don't think you need to use it. If you did, please feel F-E-E-L.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. Don't apologize. That's fine. Feel free to let me know and return it back. Privately, sure, privately is okay, but you could just say return it back at your earliest convenience.
It's convenience. Convenience.
Right? Yeah. Believe it's right. Earliest convenience.
Earliest convenience.
Yeah. So convenience, it's like easy for you to do. Earliest, so whenever it's easy for you to do, as early as you can get it back to me.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes. So this about the gym. We need to know specific, okay? I'm writing to you about the gym's opening dates. Yeah, so not date, date.
Dear Hilbert.
Yeah, you could also just say, instead of this, you could just say open, no, hours of operation, or open hours. Yeah, both of those are okay. Because that includes, they'll say Monday through Friday, blah, 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 right? Yeah. I'd like to
June. Forget.
Hell no, it's not, 1A, that's too early, right?
Forgot.
Be available at. Yeah, so when we're talking about time, we're talking about at 2 o'clock, at 3 o'clock. So at that time, please let me know if this is possible. I think, please let me know if this is possible. I think it's, you could just say, for
Return
this one, it
return
doesn't need to be
to.
super formal, right? Because you're just asking about the people, right? So you just say, please let me know, period. And then that's, and then, so we can cross out that, and then have a great day, and typically, great day, as an exclamation. Okay? Okay. How's it going?
蛮快就那个赛道的这个它是熬8卷，再选择很多的8卷，很多的。Nella quality of some memory device in order to not
Under budget.
in order to under budget.
No, keep it under budget.
Keep it.
Yeah, in order to keep it under budget. Or you could say not go over budget, that's fine, but keep it under budget or keep it within the budget. Both are okay. What I
Think
it's a set. Well, you don't need a set, right? So you can just say get
won't
a pen and a notebook, right? Because talks about one, right? And this also is included. So get one pen, one notebook. You don't need to say get a pen and a notebook. You can say that, but it's repetitive.
at
Should I need? So, should is already, softening.
You did
Should I need to prepare? And instead of should,
this. Please
I think,
feel free.
do I need to prepare?
Feel free.
Just say that you're ready.
Feel free to let
Instead of if this is on.
go.
So, yeah, sure. I think instead of possible here, this is it. Alright, please let me know when I correct.
Earliest.
Anyone else?
Earliest.
How's the correction going?
Earliest convenience.
How'd it go? Got corrections? Good things out? Okay. So,
Earliest convenience.
this sentence is a little long. You could divide it up. You could say, could you fill out the survey so that we may know your special opinion, or may know any special opinion, or pay attention to any special needs. Yeah, and that would be it. You don't need to reconsider the deficiencies because you're already saying if you plan to join us, so they know that.
EST. Earliest convenience. N B
Alright,
Oh,
so,
earliest convenience.
oh, I'm not paying attention to the time, I'm paying attention to all the writing, good. So,
Earliest convenience.
any questions at all? Many?
A lot of questions.
Today, huh? Okay. No? Alright. If you would like to, if you have any questions about your specific email, you can type it up and you can send it to me. But I'm not going to require it this week because I still have to read through the 40-something emails that were sent to me last week. So, give me some time, I will get through them, and I'll read them. It's just that this week was really busy because it was the end of the first quarter. So, apologies. I'm not trying to hold back on you. And then, please remember to kind of keep an eye out for any key phrases that maybe you'd like to share, any new sort of vocabulary, anything in English that maybe you have questions about. Okay, so that's always your homework. All right, always be questioning, always be looking for new things that maybe you didn't know before about English, so you can bring them in here to share or to ask me if you don't know. Okay, so if no more questions, then the AC just turned off. Get out of here. So you can go ahead, pack up, and head on out. All right. I'll see you next week.
Earliest convenience. Earliest convenience.
Yeah. So what it is I say these in last year. Yeah, so I had it